Well, we've crossed the halfway point here for spring practice. Hi, Sean Callahan for HuskerOnline.com. Nebraska completed their 8th practice on Wednesday and had a chance to catch up with Coach Frost on a number of different things, but in general, he just kind of likes the makeup of where this spring has been.
You know, I said this a bunch. This is our second time as a staff trying to remold a program. First years were very similar. We lost a bunch of close games. We did a lot of little things wrong that got ourselves beat. Had some issues, had some holes. I wouldn't say it got better in our last job until fall of year 2. I see a similar track right now. I see vast improvement from one spring ball to the next. We're still not complete. We still got a ways to go. But the majority of the real severe improvement that happened down there happened second fall camp. And I'm thrilled with where we are right now in spring. Obviously, we've got a whole new wave of new guys coming in this summer and this fall that we're looking forward to. That'll help our depth and help some other issues. But you know, we got a long way still to go. As much improvement as we made, we got a long way to go, and we need that same kind of springboard improvement in fall camp.
Frost also gave a brief update on the status of running back Maurice Washington.
Yeah, I've said this before. I'll say the same thing. We're going to try to keep him on as close to schedule as normal as we possibly can. He had a full day of practice today. He's been limited. He has bigger fish to fry right now than worrying about this, but we want to keep him on a schedule. So he's been a part of practice, not a full participant in practice, but when he's been out there, he's been doing a good job.
Wednesday was the first time the media got a chance to see Juan Del Robinson in action on the practice field, and Frost commended not only Robinson, but all of the early enrollees that are going through spring practice.
Yeah, he's been full this week. I wouldn't say he's 100% yet, but he's still looking pretty good at 80% or whatever he is.
From what you can tell, how is he acclimating to college life?
I got to give a compliment to all these early enrollees. We got a bunch of them here, new kids, Garrett Nelson and Nick Henrich and Jamie and Wan'Dale and all these guys that are here new. Not only are they doing well on the football field, they're doing well in school. They're good members of the team. They're around our office all the time because they love football. They're the type of guys we want, and if that's any indication of the type of class we recruited, then I think we're going to be really happy with last year's signing class.
Meanwhile, developing leadership has been a big storyline this spring, and one of the things we learned here on Wednesday were a number of the upperclassmen on this team took ownership over spring break, had a special captain's practice on the Sunday before the opening practice here when they got back to work.
Well, before we departed for spring break, I just know one thing. That's one thing that Coach Frost was kind of scared of. He didn't want us to go out there and just blow our face off all spring break and come back and be hungover for the next 2 practices. So we kind of knew, we kind of captains and stuff like that came together, and we kind of structured little things for us to do. Like when people got back in town, like the Sunday before Monday, we got a little 7-on-7 and got a little bit of lift. So we prepared to come back to work because we didn't want to take no step backs, and we knew that spring break was a distraction. So now that we back to work, we had to come back practicing how we supposed to.
I don't see it as a challenge at all. I'm a very verbal person. I speak how I feel quite often. And like I said earlier, I have a sense of integrity, so I really do what I'm supposed to do at all times. So I feel like leading is just basically doing the right thing, and people will follow you of their own free will. So it's not really much of I feel like, of a challenge to me to come in and be a leader when I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do anyway. So.
First, it's just by my actions, not being complacent, making sure every time I practice that I'm setting an example and going hard and motivating my teammates. You got to be a good teammate first, and then being a leader is affecting other people and getting the best out of them. So just talking to my teammates, making sure I motivate them, and making sure I'm bringing them along.
And even though Darian Daniels is one of the newest members of this football team, he came from Oklahoma State where he was a leader in that locker room. It hasn't taken him that long to take on that type of role here in Lincoln.
Well, it's really a family feel here. And when I came here, I really adopted their culture as my own, and we share a lot of the same values. So when I came here, it was a real easy transition. just really being with the guys in the locker room. You know, we all hit it off from the jump. They really brought me in with open arms, and it wasn't really, you know, any hostility towards me in any way. You know, everybody just brought me in and just let me get comfortable within the team.
And as for the defensive line coach Tony Tuioti said here on Wednesday he'd like to be in a position where he could play up to 8 guys in a game.
You know, this game is fast, you know, and especially our big guys, they got to be able to substitute and be fresh. So anywhere between 6, 8, maybe, depending on the pace of the game, you know. So to us, it's about being able to be fresh and play as fast as we can, as hard as we can, and as long as we can. So I'm going to roll a lot of guys.
How many, I mean, you don't have to say names, but how many do you feel like you have today that you'd feel comfortable with playing a lot of Big Ten snaps in a game?
I feel like we have 6 solid players I feel really comfortable with. I want to find who's that number 7, number 8 guy. And, you know, I think when we continue to practice each and every day, you know, we'll figure out who that person is. And we probably won't even know until we get to training camp and then start the season.
And finally, it's been a busy few weeks for Lamar Jackson. Not only has he been busy with schoolwork and practice, he's also a brand new father.
The practice has been good. I actually missed Monday practice. I had a child.
Oh, yeah?
Had my first baby, yeah. Got a little baby boy. But yeah, practice was great today.
Congratulations.
The defense was able to come together and compete all day and get the little practice victory. So it was a great day overall, though.
Is it a boy or a girl? Or?
It's a boy. Legacy is his name.
You seem proud already.
Yeah, I am.
You got any Husker year yet?
Yeah, of course. That's the first thing people bring. But yeah, I'm loving it. It was a great experience. Just got to work a little harder. We're trying to
Yeah, does it change sort of how you show up to practice and think like now you're doing it for even more than just you?
Yeah, it's just you kind of got no choice. Like just the whole little process of just having a child and stuff like that is just life changing. Honestly, it's hard to explain. I'm pretty sure some of you guys got kids, so y'all know. So I'm young. I loved every moment of it. It ain't no book to this, so I'm just gonna keep working. Like I feel like I was gonna do what I had to do anyway. It's my last year, so now, like you said, now it's just mandatory now. So now it's time to turn it up a little bit and just keep going.
And one other interesting thing we learned here on Wednesday, new defensive line coach Tony Tuioti, who has a family of 7 children, well, his 2 sons will play football next season for Lincoln Southeast. Reporting here with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.